Colors. I believe that it is the most important topic in web design and in our daily life as well. It's very important to know the color psychology. So, without the knowledge about colors and color psychology, it is very actually difficult to design website. It's kind of impractical. But don't worry, we are here to learn, right? So let's see the importance of colors. Okay. The importance of a strategic color usage in web design. You know, in web design, color carries significant meaning and emotional weight, often at a subconscious level, of course. Therefore, it is essential to use color intentionally and strategically as a powerful tool for conveying your brand's message and fostering recognition. Now, let's see, okay, why colors are so important in design. Well, different colors evoke different emotions. For example, blue is often associated with calmness and trust, while red can convey excitement and passion. Color contrast can be used to guide the user's attention to specific elements within the design. Including color in your design can help user navigation. Let's start to learn about color theory. Color theory is the basis for the primary rules and guidelines that surround color and its use in creating aesthetically pleasing visuals. By understanding color theory basics, you can begin to parse the logical structure of color for yourself to create and use color palettes more strategically. The result means evoking a particular emotion, vibe, and aesthetic. We said color palette. What is color palette? Color palette refers to a set of colors that UX UI designers use when creating a design interface. When used effectively, these color schemes serve as a backbone of your brand, ensuring consistency throughout your design and contributing to a visually appealing and user friendly interface. Now it comes my interesting part, color psychology. The psychology of colors is a fascinating subject that explores how different colors affect our emotions, behaviors, and perceptions. Each color has its own unique meaning and can evoke different responses from individuals. Understanding the psychology of color can be useful in many fields, including marketing, UX UI design, and finally web designing, what we are doing now. By selecting the right color, we can create a desired atmosphere or influence the way people feel and react. Okay, this is color psychology. But again, why is it important? Color, as we said, can influence a person's perception of a product or brand. For example, red is often associated with excitement and passion, while blue is associated with calmness and trustworthiness. Understanding the psychology of color can help businesses make informed decisions when it comes to branding and marketing. We can use color psychology to create a certain mood or atmosphere. Overall, the importance of color psychology lies in its ability to impact our thoughts, feelings, and actions in a variety of contexts. I have chosen a number of colors here, and let's have a look at their psychology and impact. The first one is my favorite color, the psychology of blue. Blue is associated with masculinity, competence, quality, calmness, dependability, steadfastness, wisdom, r- loyalty, strength, productivity, trust, security. Bright blue can also be refreshing and energizing. Now let's see when to use and when to avoid blue in web designing. Blue is often used by large corporations and banks because it's non-invasive and associated with dependability. It's good for healthcare, dental, high-tech medical, science, government, legal, and utilities. But when to avoid blue, it's good, it's a beautiful color, but not for, you know, every scenarios. Using certain shades of blue on the darker end of a spectrum actually, or using too much blue can make your website feel uncaring and cold. Blue may also curb appetite, so be careful using it with food related content. Okay, nice. The next one is psychology of orange. Orange is an energetic and vibrant color, often associated with fun, happiness, energy, warmth, ambition, excitement, and enthusiasm. It can also be used to communicate caution. Let's see where to use and where not to use. When to use orange color? When we want to draw attention to your call to action, like subscribe, buy, sign up, clearance, sales, or other content, and you want to make sure people notice. It's good for e commerce, automotive, technology, entertainment, food, and childcare. And when to avoid orange? While not as intense as red, orange can easily become overwhelming if you use it too much. Don't overdo orange. It's really overwhelming to see a lot of elements with orange. It's really overwhelming and confusing. Overwhelming and confusing at the same time. Next one is red. The color red can actually increase a person's heart rate and cause them to breathe faster. Red is associated with lust, excitement, love, energy, and movement. It also has some potentially negative association, including war, violence, fire, anger, and danger. Now, when to use and when to avoid red. Use red as an accent color to draw attention to something or to create excitement. Red can be good for food, fashion, entertainment, sports, marketing, advertising, emergency services, and healthcare. When to avoid. Don't overuse it. Too much excitement can be bad thing. Red is generally not suitable for luxury goods, nature related content, or professional website or services. Next one is the psychology of yellow. Yellow is the brightest color. It is associated with competence, happiness, cheer, optimism, and youth. Yellow also has some negative associations, such as cowardice or deceit or cheapness. When to use and when to avoid yellow. Use bright yellow sparingly to energize people to create a sense of happiness. Use soft, light yellows for a calmer, happy feeling. Yellow can be great for drawing attention to call to action text and buttons. When to avoid. Yellow can quickly become overpowering. It can strain the eyes. Again, use it sparingly. Too much yellow or the wrong, hue can feel cheap or spammy even. The color of nature, green. Green has a harmonizing, balancing effect. It associated with growth, health, nature, wealth, money, calmness, generosity, fertility, masculinity, envy, good luck, peace, harmony, support, and energy. When to use green and when to avoid it. Green is the easiest color for the eye to process. Use it to create a relaxing, calming effect or to represent new beginning, nature, or wealth. It's great for science, tourism, medicine, human resources, environment, and sustainability. When to avoid? It's less appropriate for luxury goods, for tech, and content geared toward adolescent girls. It's not that too much girlish. Uh, the next one is purple. Purple is associated with royalty. It can be used to communicate creativity, imagination, authority, sophistication, power, wealth, prosperity, mystery, wisdom, and respect. When to use it? Use dark purples to create a sense of luxury and wealth, and use light purples for spring and romance. Purple can also be great for beauty product, specifically anti-aging, astrology, massage, yoga, healing, spirituality, and content related to adolescent girls or feminine brands. Purple, and when to avoid purple. Purple can be soothing and calming, which generally makes it a poor choice for grabbing people's attention. The use of darker, deeper purple can make your side feel unfriendly or distant. Next one is brown. Brown is warm, natural color associated with earth, ruggedness, reliability, stability, friendship, and nature. When to use and when to avoid. Brown can be used to stimulate appetite. Think of commercials for coffee and chocolate. Make it suitable for food related content. It can be good fit for real estate, animals, veterinary, and finance. Brown is also typically better for backgrounds. And when to avoid it. Brown can be a bit boring or overly conservative. It's generally not suitable for grabbing people's attention and should not be used for call to action items. Never. Psychology of black. Black is a strong color often associated with sophistication, elegance, authority, power, slickness, stability, strength, formality, and intelligence. It can also symbolize death, mystery, evil, and rebellion. Now, when to use and when to avoid. Depending on the colors used with it, black can be elegant and traditional or modern and edgy. Black can be great for luxury goods, fashion, marketing, and cosmetics. But when to avoid it? Too much black can quickly become overwhelming. Black can also feel, menacing or evil, making people feel uncomfortable or even afraid. The next one is white. White is associated with purity, cleanliness, virtue, happiness, sincerity, and safety. When to use and when to avoid. White is associated with doctors, nurses, dentists, which makes it great for websites related to the healthcare industry. It can also work for high tech and science sites. When paired with black, gold, silver, or gray, white can also be great for luxury goods. And when to avoid it? Since the effects of white depend almost entirely upon the other colors in the design, it can theoretically be used for any type of website. You can use white color for any kind of website, and as you know, the background of many websites, most of the websites are white because this is the human nature, black and white, black on white. This is the most comfortable situation that we can read some text, the black text on the white background. The next one is gray. Gray is associated with formality, professionalism, sophistication, practicality, timelessness, and a strong character. When to use? It's great for professional websites, luxury goods, or to create a balancing, calming effect. And when to avoid. Certain shades of gray may feel dull and detached, or even cold. Gray is not ideal for grabbing people's attention. Next one is pink. Wow, happy color. Although pink is a tint of red, it has some very specific association beyond those of red. Pink represents sophistication, sincerity, romance, and love. It does not have the violent, angry connotations of red, and it can be quite soothing and gentle. When to use and when to avoid pink. Pink is great for feminine products or sites with content specifically geared towards women and young girls. Bright pink can be too bright, or and light pink can feel too sentimental or sweet for some sites. So consider this one as well. Okay, these slides were about psychology of some very common colors. Now let's see the real impact of colors in our design. Numbers again. Up to 90% of initial impression comes from color. It's a huge number. Colors can increase brand awareness and recognition by 80%. Wow, 93% of consumers make purchasing decision based on visual alone. 93%. That is huge. So that is why colors are very important. How to choose a color palette. Okay, we know about the color psychology, and now how to choose a color palette. Well, research your audience. Consider color psychology, which we talked about. Choose your colors wisely. Do not overlook color contrast, which we are going to discuss. Stick to UI conventions and get feedback. Let's talk about a very important rule in design regarding color in this case: 60-30-10. 60% should be primary or main color. The secondary colors should be 30%, and the accent color should be 10%. The accent color should be 10%. Don't forget, it is important. For a very simple website, the primary color or main color is white background, I mean. And the secondary color can be blue, for example, and black for the text. But the accent color is a call to action color, and it should be only 10% of a web page. Don't forget, it is very important. Only 10%. Do not overwhelm your visitors. There's a tip. While you're certainly not limited to using just three colors, it's not the gospel that you have to use only these three colors. But this framework will provide balance and ensure your colors work together seamlessly. Okay, now, well, Okay, we know about color, but is relying on colors enough to convey message and evoke emotions? Well, not really. We must consider individuals with color vision deficiencies and other disabilities because they may not perceive colors in the same way. So, what other options can we explore to ensure that our message is effectively communicated and everyone can understand and engage with it? Web Content Accessibility Guideline. What is Web Content Accessibility Guideline? Okay, Web Content Accessibility Guidelines were developed by W3C to address the need for improving web accessibility for people with disabilities, including those with visual, auditory, physical, speech, cognitive, language learning, and neurological disabilities. What are some accessibility considerations for colors? Well, use colors and icons together. Consider color combination and consider color contrast. We are going to talk about all these three items one by one, okay? Use colors and icons. Look at the right side of the slides. You should not solely rely on making the wrong email address bold, okay? You should also use a red exclamation point icon and even error message in color. You see the right picture, the right image has the color, the icon, and the text. So in this way, you make sure the user with all kind of disabilities, with any kind of disabilities, understand your message. Next one is color combination. Just look at the right side of the slide. To ensure legibility, avoid using color combination that may be hard to distinguish from one another, like blue and purple, blue and green, green and red, yellow and purple, red and purple, which really hurts my eyes now that I'm reading, blue and gray, green and gray, blue and black. They are really disturbing for some people. Like red and purple, I cannot even look at it. Next one is color contrast sensitivity. Contrast sensitivity is the ability to tell the difference between two similar colors or shades of gray. It helps you recognize an object as being separate from the background behind it. Contrast sensitivity is now considered as important as visual acuity and it affects the quality of vision. It is very important. Let's see. And very important topic. Very important topic. And I can see that some web designers do not care about this, which really affects your SEO and ranking. Background and text contrast. Make sure that the contrast the background and the text color used on the top of that background. Sorry, measure that contrast. There are tools to measure the contrast, which I will tell you later. WCAG recommends that the luminosity contrast ratio of the images, text, links, icons, buttons should meet a contrast ratio of at least 4.5 over 1. Look at the right side of a slide. You can see I use a shade of gray on white background or black background, which is very difficult to read. But the other side is a high contrast and you can clearly see the text. There's an important key takeaway about this. Design must effectively convey information through multiple channels. When designing, it is very important to make sure that information they convey is communicated in various ways beyond just a single color scheme and color scheme, consider using icons, patterns, textures, as well as easily distinguishable color combinations for better and more effective design. As I promised, there are some tools here to check the color contrast. You need them. Please, just when you are designing, open a tab in your Explorer and make sure that you check the contrast before you start your designing. These are three resources, and they are very reliable. Of course, the web one, the first one is WebAIM, which is the kind of main one. WebAIM, Colors, and Color Safe. It's very important. You go and check, and it tells you the contrast rate. Actually, it tells you if it is the best idea to choose these two colors together or not. Okay, we have just finished a very long section, and I really hope that I could convey my message to you. And it because it is very important for me that you learn something from my courses. Thank you very much, and see you on next section.